I'm in Atlanta, you know. I'm having to do a 2-stopover. It was from Raleigh-Durham to Atlanta, and then Atlanta where I'm going to London, and London I'm going into Delhi. Okay, I had such a quick changeover and hectic in London. I wasn't able to come on and show you guys anything about London. London is screwy. But anyway, I made it to Delhi. It wasn't much of a process, it was pretty easy. And now we're out in the parking lot and Mr. Sunty Dreams is here. It's my first day here through the temples, several temples throughout the area, but from the front it looks like one small building, but it's pretty large for all their deities. And a tree growing through the roof. Pretty cool. I want to take a moment to tell you about the preparations to come to India. I was in America and I had to do lots of things I thought, but it's really kind of simple. Okay, I just want to go over you little bit by little bit, not in detail, but just so you have an idea of what I had to do to come here, and some things that I do extra to help things be a little more smooth, try to avoid some problems. Well, number one is you got to make sure your passport is up to date, because if you're within 6 months of expiration, they won't let you in. So check your passport, make sure it's within the limited date, check the sites for the flights that you're going on, and also for the passport site in case things change. But as of right now, that's what the situation was. The next thing is I was planning my trip to India. So the legal document that I needed was a visa. And currently, maybe it's because of COVID, or I'm not sure, that's not important, but they didn't have an on-arrival visa. They only had an e-visa, an electronic visa. So you go online to the Indian site, you fill out an application for a visa, $40. Says it'll take 3 days maximum to get in your email your visa. Well, I think I had mine in a few hours. I can't remember exact time on the email, but when I got up the next day, because I did it at night, I had it and printed out. And this is basically what it looks like. I printed it in color, and it was only one page that I'm aware of, but if there's more than one page, print every page, okay? And I'll explain a little bit later, but print one page for every piece of luggage that you have, even your carry-on, okay? Print one page. After that, that's when you really can make your reservations, because you don't want to make a reservation if you can't get your e-visa. You never know what bump might be in the road. So get your e-visa, then do your itinerary. I did it around my elbow to get to my thumb, as we say in America, which means the long way around. I got flights that took me from Raleigh-Durham to Atlanta, Atlanta to London, and London to Delhi, okay? You watch some of the video, Atlanta, pretty cool airport. You come out, you get on one tram that I'm aware of, and it takes you almost to every terminal, easy peasy, you know, there. I got to London, and I didn't have that much of a time, but I still had a good amount of time, to get to my next one. But I got a little confused, you know, and I'm not the brightest or the sharpest tool in the shed, so maybe that's why. But I found London's airport to be a little bit confusing. Anyway, leaving the USA, I want to get back to that. They're going to check your records. Wait a minute, I need to step back even further. Before you leave America and you're packing, that's what I was saying. I told you, make one of these for every one of your suitcases. For your suitcases, make sure your name, your address, your phone number for USA, and if you have a phone number for India, put it on your name tag, on the outside of your luggage. And on the inside, I put on each piece of luggage a copy of my visa. I also put a copy of my itinerary. Every piece of luggage. That's why if you have a problem with it getting lost, then if they open it, maybe they know where you went. That's what I'm saying. I put a copy, I'm not going to show it, but of my passport inside. Something I didn't discuss, and I will now, is your COVID qualifications. Currently in India, to go to India, you're not required to have any vaccination, but if you don't have a vaccination, you will have to take tests, and they will charge you for it before you will be entering into the country. I'm not sure of the cost of those because I had my vaccination, but if you have at least your 2 main vaccinations, there's nothing else required, really, per se. I took a copy of all my vaccinations and I put them inside of my luggage. And inside of my luggage, I also, besides all this, it may seem redundant or overdoing, but you never know. I put my name and address, phone number for USA. I put any information for name, addresses, and phone numbers for any contacts in India. Do that in all of your luggage. When you come to the airport, they're going to check your visa. So you'll need to have that accessible. So you not only need them for your luggage, but you need some on your hand, on your body, somewhere you can access to have that, and your passport and any other documents. One thing I failed to mention, when you make your reservations on the airlines, you're going to have to fill out, and I'm going to tear this word up, Ersthevida, Savuda. Just look it up. You fill it out, okay? And it's electronic, and they never asked me for it, but I printed that. Okay? I even printed that. I just did a screen copy and I printed it and kept it in my luggage. I kept all this stuff in my luggage. I'm just trying to be safe and prevent any problems. But don't forget that, do that. They never asked me for it. It's all electronic after I arrived, but you never know. Okay. All right, so when I got on the flights to come, they did check for my visa, my passport, and your bags are in the United States, 50 pounds limit for your checked baggage. 2 pieces internationally you can check, a carry-on and a handbag or something, another small bag. During travel, I had medicines in my case because a couple of years ago I had a heart attack, so I have to have these. Well, I had some other creams in there too for myself, and no issues with them at all. In the USA, when I got to London, there was an issue with the cream in my luggage. They took it out, they opened it, they wiped it, they tested it. I got tested at each airport except USA. You know how they'll check your luggage for bombs, they'll scrub the inside, they'll open it up while you're going through the metal detector. They did that to me. But only in London did they have an issue with the cream. When I came into India, no problems. When you arrive into India, again, easy peasy actually in India. They pretty much directed where you have to go, and you'll talk to immigrations. They'll have you fill out another card. You'll actually fill out one of these cards on the airplane. It's just a basic name, address, where you're going, who you know, and you give it to the flight attendant. This is simple, nothing much. Almost the same thing happens again at immigration. They just want you to fill out some information, and then they stamp your visa, or they did for me. I don't know what issues they're looking for. I got my luggage and I went. Now coming inside, because people knew I were coming, I was pretty much covered. But there is a free phone service if you need it. Okay, you can pay for internet if you have the regular phone, or if you get an Indian SIM, or if you have one, you'll get free internet at the airport as you're going to your luggage. As you go through your immigration and you're trying to find your luggage, they'll tell you it's pretty simple coming in, because like I said, they direct you where you need to go. You really can't get lost up to the point of your luggage. And when you get to your luggage, you'll sit there and you'll wait and you'll wait, and they have carriers, little free carriers, luggage racks like you see in every airport in India. They're free. So grab you one if you've got a couple of pieces of luggage, whatever, just grab you one. And once they come around on the belt and you get your luggage, if you have missing luggage, there is an office. You'll have to look for it back behind, but it'll say luggage something, but it does say luggage. It's pretty it's pretty understandable when you see it that that's where you have to go if you have luggage missing or something. But if you don't, like I didn't have any issue. Put your luggage on your rack, and you're right there at the doors to come out. And everybody speaks English, even most of the taxi drivers. So if you have an issue, ask somebody, because you're in an international area of the airport, so they're going to know English. Ask them for help. But as you're coming out, if you don't have a prepared ride, they're there to give you one. And they will ask you, okay, as you're coming out, as they did me. But I had somebody waiting for me, so I didn't have that issue. But they came up to me, asked me, I just politely said, no, I have a ride. No, I have a ride, thank you. No, I have a ride. And at that point, maybe you saw in the video, you know, where I was being greeted with such fanfare by the Santi family, you know, and all those folks. But and that was pretty much it. The video is very short, mainly because my situation was I was so tired and I had to think more than I could do about making videos. So I made very limited videos. But I wanted to do this so that you could at least have an idea of what I needed to do before I came to India. I hope that this information is helpful. The best thing to do is just when you make sure you get your e-visa. Once you get that and you have approval, start all the other stuff and make phone calls to people if you're not sure. Airlines, call them. You know, even if you need to, call the Indian folks who give you the e-visa. I think there's a number there for that. You know, if you have questions, ask before you go. You know, this COVID thing changes, so you'll need to know. Hopefully I've covered all the main stuff you'll need, and if you come to India, you're gonna absolutely adore it, and it'll grow on you after a little while. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the